Tennessee at Florida. This is Saturday college basketball. VR, we're doing this wise guy style, as we say. No line is out. Only line is out. Or there's no line out, and you're going to give us your number first. Then you're going to tell us what you project the number to be.
Exactly. And getting back to that, just so we say it at least every week, this is what I think every sports bettor needs to do.
Every sports handicapper.
Correct.
Because you can be a bettor and not be a handicapper.
You're right. You're absolutely. And I always make that distinction too. Whether I'm twittering, whether I do my newsletter, I always say sports bettor / sports handicapper, because you're right. They aren't the exact same thing.
No.
I know a lot of sports bettors that make a ton of money and couldn't tell you the quarterback of a team.
I make a little.
There you go.
I know a few.
You know, yeah, but you watch.
I know Big Ben.
You know the matchups. You know the matchups.
Little bit.
Getting back to this game, I made my true line Florida -7. I don't think they should be any higher than that. And to be honest with you, because Florida's coming in off a win.
All right, but hold on. All right, so Florida -7 is your number.
Correct.
What do you project?
And the total 129.
What do you project the number to be that the bookies are going to put out?
I think they got to bring out Florida at least 9.5 if they want to split this action.
So what you're saying is you think you undervalue Florida in this spot. Why is that?
No, Tennessee.
Let me see.
Overvalue Florida.
All right, so you're overvaluing. You think there isn't value on Florida.
On the Florida side.
But you're right, I did misspeak there. You think the value's on the Tennessee side.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised at all, honestly, if this came out at double digits. And then we'll have huge line value.
So why is your number different?
Bottom line, I don't want to talk bad on Florida, but I'm just not sold.
I don't think they're going to take it personally.
Yeah, please don't, Gators. I'm not sold on this team. They beat Vandy at home in overtime, okay? Then they beat Kentucky. Impressive. Then they went to South Carolina on the road. They won and covered, okay? Here, we're going to get an inflated number.
But why?
Because looking at the Tennessee side, here's a team who was a favorite two games ago.
But hold on, I got to stop you. And if you got to go head-to-head, producer, don't be afraid. Here's what I want to understand.
Give it to me.
And we're starting to get into college basketball, so we're breaking this down a little differently than we did football. But it's key. One, you've got your numbers, which is forget the situation, forget the matchup. Here's how good I think these two teams are. I'm going to do the math between them, and that's my starting number between the two, what the line should be. Then you adjust for situations and matchups and injuries. About right?
Correct.
So it sounds like what you're saying, just in general, your Florida number before any other factors is a little bit lower than other people's number. You just aren't impressed by them.
Yeah, not as impressed as the rest of the market.
All right, so your number, as things just start, is a little lower in Florida. Okay, now, what is there any situational factors?
Yeah, Tennessee, number one, comes in off 2 losses against Alabama, against Kentucky. More importantly, against Kentucky, they were heavily bet. That was one of the most one-sided bet games that night. It was an ESPN matchup, and money just kept coming in on the Tennessee Volunteers. Bruce Pearl's back. It's a huge game for Tennessee. Kentucky's given too many. I was hearing reason after reason why you should back Tennessee in that game. I didn't like them at all. To be honest with you, I wanted to back Kentucky. I got scared because not only was the betting public on them, but the wise guys were on them as well. And that line moved too much for me, and I thought it was the wrong move. After I watched the game, it just proved me right.
Okay, so what you're saying is not only is there that ATS loss, but it was a heavily bet ATS loss, which has a lot of bettors
with a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to Tennessee.
Looking to say, not only aren't I going to bet them again, I'm looking to fade them.
Exactly. And what better spot to fade them than against a great Florida team playing at home who just beat Kentucky, who just beat South Carolina, that same Kentucky team that just had no problems winning by double digits against this same Tennessee team.
Makes sense. I like it so far. Now, there's another factor here, and this is our buddy Marco's factor, is that he likes to talk about, and tell me if you think it's applicable, is whenever there's a returning starter, in this case it's the coach,
right.
What ends up happening is that the other team that's been trying to, the team itself, the other teammates, that's been trying to compensate for the absence, feels a little bit of a letdown. the public
Reacts to it.
overreacts to it, and the opponent feels like, man, we better try hard.
It's time to step up our game.
Because look, they've got their coach back.
Exactly.
And all of those things resulted in them not covering, and now it's the whipsaw effect. All of a sudden the team says, geez, our coach is back, we lost, we better get really serious. Florida in this case says maybe Tennessee's not really very good, and the public's not. This is almost like an injured player,
exactly,
except it's a coach with a suspension.
Exactly.
Right.
And we're going to see a Tennessee team that's extremely motivated for this one. Even though they're only 5-4 in conference, they're tied for second. I mean, you got Kentucky, Georgia, and Tennessee right there, all with the same 5-4 record. While Florida, you know, they're sitting up at the top on the East, in the SEC East, no pressure at all, feeling great. And I think they're just going to be in for a shock when this Tennessee team, comes in and gives them a whole 40 minutes. If they give me 40 minutes of effort, they come out of there with a cover.
I mean, could Pearl possibly want to start 0-2?
No.
I mean, so there's really...
They're going to play. And what I say...
He's going to make sure they play.
What I always say with my underdog, I don't need them to win the game. I'd love them to be able to win the game. But you give me 40 minutes of effort, 48 minutes in the pros, 60 minutes in the NFL, and I'm willing to back them because they're going to keep you in the game at least. And in this situation, I think we're going to get 40 minutes.
Do you bet the Little League World Series?
If once in a while for you. If there's an edge.
You say give me 7 innings.
Just don't be a quitter, kid.
Is it 7 innings?
Don't quit on me. I think 6. Isn't it 6 or
I think
7? 7?
I'm not sure.
Just don't quit on me, kid. I don't care how far you're behind the Japan.
You're plus 4.5 runs.
You're getting 6 runs. For God's sakes.
Wouldn't it be funny if the coach after the game said, listen, we lost 4-0, but we were plus 4.5 at Pinnacle.
In the Little League World Series.
All right, so why don't you wrap up? I think you've made a great case, so give us the line, give us the actual projection.
What I'm going to hope for is come Friday late afternoon when they put these lines out, I'm hoping they bring out Florida as a 10-point favorite, double-digit favorite. I'm going to bet it right away because I think every wise guy in the country is going to try to grab that plus 10, and then it will drop down a little bit.
All right, so let's talk about this a second. So now you're talking about line predictions after release, which is a specialty of yours, so let's talk about that. Typically, the home favorite, that's the marquee team, gets bet up by the public throughout the day. Occasionally, when the wise guys like the dog so much, they'll grab it so hard and so early that the line is pushed downward and it never gets back to its original open even after the public speaks. So you think that the sharps in general are going to be on Tennessee and you should be looking to bet early?
Yeah, I think this is going to get steamed immediately because they will bring Florida out as high as I'm projecting. And when it does get steamed, you're going to see it drop down to 9, possibly 8.5. At that point, you need to wait till before tip-off because the public money will be on Florida, and you will see a swing back. You won't get back to that double digit again. Okay.
And here's the thing. These Saturday games come out late Friday afternoon if you're playing offshore. So if you got enough outs offshore, look to play this early if you like what VR is saying. If not, check out pregameaction.com, and there you can check out the best deals from some of the most trusted books. Anything to close?
Tennessee.
All right. Okay, now it's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with VR and me. And that's it. 4 videos for VR this week. He'll be back next week. And we'll be back on Friday with videos with Marco. See you then.